This is the LowcoSports Lowdown podcast. Here are your hosts, Justin Jarrett and Wes Kerr. Hey, LowcoSports fans, welcome to another edition of the LowcoSports Lowdown. I am Justin Jarrett, joined as always by Wes Kerr, and we have got another great show lined up tonight, Wes. We're trying to outdo ourselves every show right now. Like last show was our best one ever. I think we got a shot to outdo it tonight. We got the state champ, Claire Bear, in the green room. We got her up first. We got Maria Francescotti, whose name you might not know, but you should because she is qualified for the Pan American Games in Santiago, Chile next month in swimming, and hoping to make it to the Paralympic Games. So she's got a great shot. So we're going to talk with her and hear more about her story, and then we're going to talk football in the second half. We have Zion Dobson, one of the 5 finalists for the South Carolina Mr. Football Award, as well as our man One Time from Hampton County to help us talk with Zion. So this is going to be a real treat. If you haven't followed along with One Time, he is a main character in Hampton County, and we're going to introduce you to him tonight. So it's going to be good times. But Wes, you've been out and about the last couple of days. I got out the Bridges volleyball. I'm trying to get some video loaded up here because it's pretty good. Bridges volleyball going to the lower state finals.
Yeah, that's awesome. What a great story over there, and great to see those schools in 1A doing well. And right here in the Loco, Bridges Prep, we've talked a lot about their growth, and we had a couple of them, volleyball coach and then Macy on the pod the other day. But great to see that program head in the right direction and exciting stuff as they continue on the playoffs. So that's a great story right there. Excited to see if they can keep it up and maybe go all the way. We'll have to keep an eye on them. But I'm doing well heading. We're both heading the same spot. We're both going to Whale Branch this week to see the much anticipated region title match between the Warriors and the Bamberg Earhart Red Raiders coming up tomorrow. And gonna be a packed week 10. We got a lot of games with many playoff seedings and region titles at stake. You look at still have to decide the playoff spots and region 7 4A. Eastport has a very outside chance of getting a region title, but they're still going to have a lot on the line against the Annan team, and they have a great chance at playing for at least the number 2 seed in the region. And over in Skiza, of course, Donnie Brook over there looking to wrap the region title as well with Mr. Football finalist Zion Dobson. What an outstanding honor! Just starting there. It's an area that
you're breaking up on me a little bit there, Wes. So just like breaking up a little bit.
Notoriety compared to other spots in the Low Country. It's great to see. It's great to see Zion get praise and get that attention for the amazing season that he's had. He has put on quite the campaign at running back and has just gotten so much better than what we saw for us last year. We knew about his potential, but just the breakaway speed division, it's really all come to fruition in this season. And he's put it all together alongside his teammates. The offensive line is doing a great job. You got to give props to them because they're a big part of why Dobson is able to have the success he's having. But, this offense is all coming together. That defense is fine. And just great to see the recognition over there at Hampton County. Those kids deserve so much more love than they're getting. This is big time. Doesn't get much bigger than Mr. Football finalist, and I think he's got a great outside shot to. I don't think it's a runaway compared to like Lenora Sellers was the favorite by first week of the season last year. It seemed like, but this one's wide open.
Yeah, I'm losing you a little bit again there, but no, I think you're right, and we'll talk about football a little bit more later. But definitely want to get to our friends in the green room and let them get on with their evenings because it is a school night after all. And first up, we have the Class 4A golf state champion and leader of the state champion Sharks golf team. And she told us about the first round on the Lowdown. She gave us a report along with Robin Zetrauer. But we've got Claire Green back on the show. Welcome back, Claire. Congratulations. Another win under your belt. We talked last time we had you on about the heater you've been on for the past month or so. And you kept it rolling, winning by 11 shots. So your mom sent me the winning final putt, but I didn't mention it to her, but I was going to say, she could have missed 10 more and still hit the winning putt. So domination, kid. Congratulations on a terrific performance. Tell us about what you were able to do to put up the only 2 red numbers of the week.
Well, thank you for having me on the So, it's an honor to be on again. Well, I started the week going in like really excited just to compete. I've been playing well in the past couple tournaments leading up to it. So I think that definitely had a good amount of confidence going into it. And I think after the practice run, I really liked the course and the way it laid out. I knew where I could capitalize on certain opportunities and certain shots. I think the first day I was just trying to play conservative and smart and just try to put myself in a position to where day two I can. But the first day I just ended up making putts and hitting really good shots. So that led to me having a 2 under. It could have been more, but there's always more shots you could capitalize on. And then I think going into day two, I just tried to have the same mentality. I didn't picture myself in the lead. The only time I pictured myself in the lead was walking up 18 the last day. I just went into the second day with a new mindset, just trying to go out and do the same thing I did the first day, which I was able to do. So that was pretty cool.
Well, you approached it the right way, and it certainly showed out there on the course. So, congratulations on winning not just the state title as a team, but the individual as well. But just excellent work from you and this entire group, because obviously you get the individual award, but I'm sure you would agree that it's special to also earn the team title. You guys grew together as a group, so just describe the emotion, the excitement when you guys found out that you were the 40 state champions, and the battle. Just describe the battle that you had to undertake alongside your fellow Sharks.
I think everyone was a little nervous. I think everyone just knew how exciting everything was and that we were the top seed going in. Everyone knew who we were there. They knew that, we were the people to beat. So I think that kind of put not a weight on our shoulders, but a little motivation to go out and perform. So everyone, I think the first day went out and performed really well. Everyone performed under the pressure that we were under. And I think we only were leading by 12 shots going into the second day. So I had a conversation with the team after the day one, and I was like, today doesn't matter. Tomorrow's a new day, and we're going to play it like we're one shot behind. And we did that the second day, and we were able to post a decent score too. And I think everyone's competitiveness and just excitement and team bond this week really allowed us to perform really well. It was just super exciting as a team to win. It's been a lot of hard work this season to get to this point, so it's just really nice to see it all pay off.
Well, and we talked a lot about the competition that you guys play, not only as a team, but also individually playing in SCJGA events and things like that. And you guys were definitely prepared for the moment. I mean, despite it being a unfamiliar course, you went out and shot really good numbers, won by a wide margin. To what do you sort of attribute that, just that preparation and being ready for the moment when it mattered most? Because we all know you can do whatever you want all season long, and if you don't do it for those 2 days, it doesn't turn out that way.
What we did leading up as a team was a lot of team bonding going into it, just really supporting everybody and just kind of talking through the different scenarios everybody would be in. I know me personally leading up to the tournament, I put myself in a lot of competitive situations because I knew I was going to be in those in the tournament. So just being able to deal with that under pressure, because you're going to face adversity in the round, you're going to hit a bad shot, but it's just how you rebound after that.
Yeah, it's such an important mental aspect that you find when you grow as a golfer, and you certainly have handled it well so far throughout your career. Tell me more about your teammates and how impressed you were of how they grew as players, and then how you became kind of a leader and a mentor to them to help them improve their game further as they approach the big meets, and then you help them put them over the top alongside your solid play. But just describe your teammates and what they've meant to you, and then how you've grown them to become better.
One of my closest friends on the team for a while. We've just had such a close bond. So I think being able to go through this experience with her in States has been really special. And I think we've been able to share our friendship and grow it with like Haley, Ava, and Gwen on the team. And I think kind of the friendship we've established all together has just been really special. And I think I've also tried to assume a role as a mentor to them. If they need help, if they have a question on something, like how I'm going to play it and how they might play it for how they're playing that day or whatever. And I just think the communication we have with one another and how they'll listen to me and how I'll listen to them if they have something to tell me. I just think that's allowed for everybody to grow this season individually and as a team. Everybody every day comes and wants to get better. So I think also having that drive has really allowed us to bond as a team and for me to be able to help them grow as individual players.
I think the internet and the Loco is bad tonight. We're all kind of dragging a little bit, but it's so be it. That's the joy of live programming. And you know, it happens. But Claire, everybody's back, right? Like you're the oldest. You're like the elder statesman as a junior. Oh man, so we got a dynasty on our hands here. You're already excited for next year, huh?
To go to nationals in Frisco, Texas this summer for 3 days, where we'll go compete against the best teams nationally. So everyone's really excited. After we won, everybody was like, "Well, we're going to Texas now." Not done yet.
Cool.
The benefits of winning the state title, you get to compete against the best in the country. So, just tell me more about what's on tap for you now that the season's over and any other tournaments lined up as you obviously. It'll be nice to take a kind of a well-deserved break, but I'm sure we'll be back at it soon, getting ready for some more events.
I have one individual event lined up in Hartsville for November, for the rest of November. But then December and January, I'll kind of probably just take off to just work on my game and sharpen everything up, take a bunch of lessons from all my coaches and stuff. Gonna be in the recruiting process pretty heavily in it right now. So hopefully there might be a decision made, there might not be. But I think that'll be keeping me pretty occupied now that the high school season's over.
I was gonna ask if the mailbox was blowing up these last couple of days, or has it started coming in yet, or?
It definitely heats up when you shoot certain scores. I will say that. There's definitely more comes on to the table. Yep.
Yeah, no question. What do you, as far as the recruiting goes, where are we kind of like you got a number of viable offers, like you're getting close?
I'm talking to a good amount of schools right now, and we're kind of in a different process with each because you don't start out with all of them at the same time. And I think right now I'm just trying to figure out where the best fit's going to be for me academically and athletically for the goals I do have during college and after college. Because I also want to pick a school where like I would go there even if it wasn't there for golf.
Right.
So I say we're just in the process where it's like if it's the right fit, then I'll make that decision. But if not, I'll keep looking until I feel it's the right fit.
What are you interested in studying in school?
In schools?
What are you interested in studying when you get to school? My apologies, my connection's going in and out today, so apologies.
I'm interested in studying probably like business, political science, or something with sports marketing or management as of right now. After college, I would love the opportunity to turn professional. That's just been my dream since a kid, and I still want to do that. But if that never worked out or anything, I would potentially want to go to law school to become a lawyer in something. So I've thought it out. I haven't figured out what specifically yet. I think once I pick the college, I can be a little more specific in what I want to major in. But that's my ideas for right now.
Yeah, we have a plan. Claire and I have a plan. Bridget Wilkie's in on it too. We're gonna build Team Lowco women's pro golf roster and let them help us build this thing. But I just went out of focus. But no, Claire, we're so proud of you. I mean, again, I go back to that thing at Moss Creek, and Campbell told me like, yeah, she doesn't want to come on the show. She's too mad about the first round still. And
I could come on the show, Justin. He didn't tell me. He goes, like, I told him the other day in class, I was like, I didn't know I could have gone on after Moss Creek. He's like, yeah, I said you didn't want to. It's like, I mean, I could have gone on. It just wouldn't have been, it would have been a little different than what it usually is, but.
But yeah, I was like, that was the turning point though. You were that round was the turning point for you. You didn't shoot a bad round after that the rest of the season. It was like you were on fire after that. So kudos to you for keeping the head locked on straight and focusing on the right things and seeing it through the finish line. And now enjoy a little rest and the the rewards of those scholarship offers and see what comes next. Well, thank you so much, Claire. We appreciate you, and we'll talk with you real soon. Enjoy your time off.
Thank you.
See you later. Love Claire Bear. She is outstanding. So proud of her again. Just being able to stay locked in for as long as she did at the end of the season was a long time. I mean, I was afraid it was going to be too long, and she would kind of cool off, at the end there. But man, she kept it
at the right time, and she was certainly, in the zone throughout that last stretch. You mentioned that tournament in Moss Creek, and transferring that over to the lower state championship and then the state meet this week. And she's done a great job of translating that same energy to her teammates, because it takes all of them to come up out on top. And the Tour's done a great job, and then those 3, 4, 5 golfers had to deliver some solid scores as well. They did. So, the Sharks, as you mentioned, it was a full-out attack. They blew everybody out of the water, no pun intended, but I believe it's around at least 3, because they won 2020, 21, I believe. I think 22, if I remember correctly.
I think they won by 32 shots, I believe.
Okay. But this is pretty... you mentioned this is in 3 and 4 years, which is officially a dynasty. Obviously different coaches, but the same program, and it's picking up sustained, prolonged success. And so, great to see that from girls golf, and to see that grow. We talked about Hilton Head Prep and that team doing big things, but the Sharks in a tough high school league where we mentioned the competition, but no match for May River this year. So congratulations to those girls. And speaking of golf, we have some breaking news that just came across today from Congaree Golf Club, because we talked about that course. We got to see them at a championship. We saw the CJ Cup last year, and now in 2025 we will see the Arnold Palmer Cup, which is a very unique and exciting college tournament, because you have a kind of a mix up there where men and women will play side by side as partners in this tournament. It's kind of like a Ryder Cup style event. You got a United States team taking an international team, and you're going to see some of the top golfers in the country, college level. So many tremendous alumni coming through here, including guys like John Rahm, Colin Morikawa, Justin Thomas, Lucas Glover. So a renowned list of names that have shined in this tournament, and what an opportunity to. And this is an event that has rotated through a couple of outstanding courses. Congaree once again putting its name on the map by hosting, one of the most prestigious college level events, showcasing the best in the country and in the world. So another tremendous opportunity for Congaree as it continues to grow its name out there.
Yeah, no, it's going to be really cool. And I don't know a lot of the women's college players. I do know Rose Zhang, who's amazing. Hopefully she'll be there. There'll be some really good men and some really good women out there, though. But that's going to be a cool event. I missed the players' amateur.
So not this year, but the next year.
Yeah, 2025. Yeah, that'll be a little while. I missed the players' amp, so I'm excited to have some of those young up-and-comers back in the area. That'll be cool.
It was cool to have,
let's shout out. Oh, go ahead.
Cool to have PGA Tour guys, but this is cool. You get to see the next crop, as you mentioned. It's cool to be able to follow some guys and see them a couple years later competing in the PGA and the LPGA tours. Yeah,
they're a little more accessible and just a little more laid back, but it's fun. Let's shout out the MVP sponsors. We've got Megan Jarrett, the official realtor of LowcoSports, and my wife. She's an agent with the Pierce Group of eXp Realty, and she's ready to help you find your starter home or your forever home here in the Lowco, so that you can have a place in this wonderful community. I can't speak to the work ethic of all the realtors in the community. There are a bunch, but I know this one works really hard for her clients, and she's going to help you find the perfect spot in the Lowco, the official realtor of LowcoSports, Megan Jarrett, and the official queen bee of the Lowco Hive. And when we find that home, we're going to take it to homegrown home inspections. Well, we're going to take homegrown home inspections to the house. That works better. Jan Lucas and his team will look it over from top to bottom, check out all those trouble spots, and make sure you're making a good investment that's not going to cost you down the road. They'll be your eyes and ears and biggest advocate until move-in day, especially if you're building a new house, especially out in Margaritaville. Man, they know those houses in and out, and they're making sure everybody moving into Margaritaville is going to be wasting away instead of worrying about their house. So call them homegrown home inspections to get that home inspection, official home inspectors of LowcoSports. And then when it's time to sign the papers, we'll go to the Mickelson Law Firm. They're our first sponsors back in 2017, and they're still with us 6 years later, a testament to the people and community leaders that Ryan and Tiffany Mickelson are. And they built a great legal team that will help you with all your legal needs. They're the official real estate closing attorneys of LowcoSports, Mickelson Law Firm. And finally, Hospice Care of the Low Country, one of the best non-for-profit charities in our community. They offer so many services: hospice care, palliative care, as well as free grief counseling for the community, and that's open to anyone. So they're just working hard to raise money and take care of so many folks in our community, so they don't have to come out of pocket those needs, because at hospice care, the Low Country, it's not about dying, it's about living, and they are the official hospice care of LowcoSports. And now we welcome a real treat. This came across my radar a few weeks ago, and I reached out to her mom, and we were able to make this happen. But Maria Francescotti, a Hilton Head Aquatics swimmer who is going to the Parapan American Games. And Maria, welcome to the show.
Hi,
Let me unmute you. Thank you so much for
Thank you
coming
for having
on.
me tonight.
Thank you. I know you're from the Syracuse area up in New York, and you've been down here in Hilton Head for a couple of years. So that's kind of why your name is not on our radar necessarily up until now. But now you're making headlines because you're going to the Parapan American Games, and your goal is to make it to the Paralympics. You're only 16, so you've got a long way to a long time to accomplish those goals, but you're right on the cusp already. So tell us a little bit about your background, your story, and how you got to this point in your journey.
Yeah, so I started swimming when I was really young. I started swim lessons when I was little, and I was always excited to put my bathing suit on and jump in the pool. So my parents signed me up for a summer swim team when I was 5 years old. From there, when the season was over, I didn't want to stop swimming, and so we found a club team, and I've been swimming ever since.
That's fantastic. Great to read about and see your story, and so inspirational. You mentioned that you were born with a disability. Just describe how you were able to treat that and discover this love of swimming to be able to inspire others throughout this journey.
So I was born with Poland syndrome and some brachydactyly, which affects my right arm. So it hasn't really been anything that I think about. I just do everything as I normally do it. And so, like with everything else, swimming was just one of the things that I figured out how to do for how I needed to do it. And I always loved the freedom that I felt in the water, and it was just endless possibilities. And so just kept with it.
Yeah. Well, clearly, swimming is not an easy thing to do for anyone necessarily at a high level, but certainly with an underdeveloped arm. So did you have to adjust, kind of your mechanics and your stroke a little bit to make it work, or does it work pretty naturally?
So there are some things that I've adjusted, but I wouldn't say that I notice it as an adjustment because it's how I've always done it.
Mhm. Right. Sure.
I do swim a one-armed butterfly, and I have exceptions for intent to touch, meaning on the strict that you have to touch the wall with both hands, I can just show that I'm intending to touch the wall with both hands. But it's really, I do nothing different than what I
Yeah.
normally do, and so it doesn't feel like I'm making any accommodations at all.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's awesome stuff. Tell me more about your relationship here with the island, and how you've been able to grow and develop as a swimmer here in the Low Country, and what it's meant to you, this Hilton Head area.
I love the area. I think it's beautiful. We moved here because it's a beautiful area, and we love the beaches and the sunshine and the palm trees. Um, I swim outside, which is really cool. I think seeing the sunrise during morning practices and the sunset in evening practices is a lot of fun. Um, yeah.
Yeah. You're homeschooled, and you swim with
Mhm.
H2A. So another reason that your name has not come across our radar. We've been covering high school swimming, but your name wasn't in those results. So, but H2A has a long history of churning out great swimmers. So, tell us a little bit about your experience with that program and how that has helped you kind of, get to where you are now.
So I've had a great experience with the program. The coaches are fantastic. They've helped me tremendously, and I've grown so much while I've been there and since I've moved. Um, it's been it's been a great experience. I've gotten to do so many new cool things that has been it's been a really cool experience.
Fair
Mike
enough.
is a terrific coach. I'm sure you've learned a lot about, just talk about him, his coaching style, and how he's done such a great job to motivate you guys and push you guys in practice to get to that next gear as a swimmer and get yourselves ready for when those big meets come up already.
So, yeah, I mean, I think that describes it perfectly. I don't really feel nervous going into meets because I know that with my training, I've prepared for those moments and I'm ready for whatever's thrown at me, whether my goggles come off or they leak or the cap starts to come off. Um, I know that I've trained for everything and I'm prepared.
That's right. Yeah. Well, the hay's in the barn at that point. You are what you are by the time the race starts. But you like to do a lot of other things. You sent us a little note. You like to bake gluten-free and dairy-free treats. So tell us a little bit more about what you like to do as a 16-year-old girl when you're not swimming.
So most of what I do when I'm not swimming is schooling and normal things that a 16-year-old do, I guess. It's a lot of schooling, a lot of high school work. But when I've got spare time, I love to bake. My mom and I are both gluten-free and dairy-free, and so finding really good recipes is kind of challenging sometimes for different things. And so I always find it fun to just spend a day experimenting in the kitchen and seeing what I kind of come up with.
Heck yeah.
Well, you've got a big event coming up next month, the Parapan American Games in Santiago, Chile. I mean, you get to travel down to South America. I mean, and to try to a new continent to compete. That's got to be really exciting for you to showcase your talent on the worldwide stage.
Yeah, it's a huge opportunity that I'm very grateful for. I'm very excited to go and do that. I'm very proud to represent Team USA at this meet. It's going to be a wonderful experience, and I'm very honored and grateful that they're having me there for this meet.
You're breaking up on us a little bit there, so I hope I'm not stepping on you. But you just got back from training 4 days out in Colorado. So give us a little insight, a little glimpse into what the training regimen is like to be able to compete at this level.
So with that training camp specifically, we did a lot of different things. We did some pool training, we did some dry land training. We met with a lot of different professionals that work at the training center and with Team USA. And there was a lot of learning involved. We learned so much. I feel much more prepared going into this meet, being able to utilize some of the things that I learned there. So it was a really great experience.
Well, you mentioned you don't have a favorite stroke, but you were impressive in the 4x100 back at the national event that you excelled in, I believe back in December. So, tell me about that experience and what was it like to be in a relay and just that excitement when you're competing alongside teammates and how you guys spark each other and fire each other up. What's that experience like of racing a relay in a high stakes event like that? And tell me about how impressed you were, how it turned out.
Yeah, so that was a lot of fun because the relay teams weren't put together prior to the meet. So if you wanted to swim a relay, you signed up while you were there to swim a relay, and they put the teams together. And so a lot of the times you were swimming with people you may never have swum a relay with before. And the camaraderie and seeing everyone come together for their teams, it was a lot of fun.
Very good. Well, Maria, it was a delight to talk with you tonight. We're very proud of you and excited for you to rep the Lowco in Santiago at the Parapan American Games, and we hope to see you soon as well at the Paralympics in France, in Paris, because that's the goal. So we hope you achieve that.
Thank you, and thank you so much for having me tonight.
It was a delight. We'll definitely have you back on after the event. Thanks, Maria. Hargrave's killing us tonight, but yeah, it's
some disturbance in
the struggle bus tonight. But Maria was terrific, an absolute delight, and thanks so much to her mother Annette for helping to coordinate that. We'll definitely have her back on again down the road to keep up with her progress, because it's not often that we have somebody in our midst, who is competing at that level on an international stage. We've had CJ Cummings on the weightlifting level, and but that's, it's pretty rare to have somebody competing on the international stage, and especially someone with a story as inspirational as hers. Just to hear her just swam with one full arm and one partial arm. It's cool. I just learned how to swim, and now I'm one of the best in the world. It's amazing to me.
I wish more people were in tune with the Paralympics and what happens with the journey of these. Obviously, the Olympics are a huge spectacle every 4 years, but these Paralympic athletes, they defy the odds and what they're able to do, and how they're able to compete after going through so much adversity and just those setbacks. It's it takes just the extra mental fortitude and the extra motivation, and it's really hard to gain that strength up and compete. But the rewards are there's so many, and it's amazing to see the successes of the Americans and everybody who's able to go over there and show off what they can still do and what they can still achieve despite being dealt a bad hand. And Maria's one of them, and I think she is on her way to create some outstanding success for her in swimming and in life in general. So we wish her the best of luck, and we applaud all these Paralympians and future Paralympians that we're going to see in this country and beyond, because it takes a lot of determination, and she certainly has that dog, that mindset in her. And give credit to H2A, Mike Lee, and that coaching staff. They do a phenomenal job. It's not just high school students, but these kinds of athletes who are driven and built to succeed. And Mike Lane's staff, they're at the top of their game as well. And it's really fun to see them help write this story too.
Yeah, just outstanding stuff. Gosh, I'm very much. She's got dog in her, but it's a very sweet dog, very sweet and docile dog. She's awesome. That was really delightful. So 2 outstanding young women with us so far tonight, and we're gonna have some outstanding men coming on shortly. We're trying to get Zion on one time in here for some good times talking football, but let me see if my Bridges prep video is loaded yet. No, it still hasn't. What in the world? It's taking forever. Still says 18 minutes. That's too long. But I have some good video from Bridges prep. They lost the first set. They didn't play badly in the first set. There were some really good rallies. But Lada was just on fire defensively, and a couple of their players were really just flicking and placing the ball really well, finding holes in the defense. But then Bridges made the adjustment. Roger Wilson is the coach over there. He was the coach for years at Buford Academy, had a ton of success there. He's got the greatest mustache in the Lowco. We'll see it on video if I can ever get this up. And they rallied, man. They got down 5-0 in the second set. It looked bad, and came back and won that second set, won the next 2. We've talked a lot about how volleyball is such a game of momentum. Yep. And if you can just get the thing rolling downhill, you can really roll. So, and they did, and the crowd got into it. It was a great atmosphere. A lot of traveled really well. Gym was packed. Tooman was fired up. You mentioned about the volleyball coach earlier. That was Dan Tooman, the lower principal. I think he's the principal, one of the principals. He was fired up tonight, though. He gave a Tiger Woods fist pump after the second set.
That's what we love to see.
He was fired up. Yeah, so I think he told me who they play next. They'll be at home on Tuesday. We don't know who yet, but they'll be at home on Tuesday for the lower state
Either
championship.
East Clarendon or Lakeview in the lower state championship game. That'll be Halloween night over in
Halloween night.
yeah, at Bridges. Or wait,
Yeah.
are they have the H on their side, but
Yeah, they're the one seed, so
Yeah.
they got the H.
yeah,
They're home.
there we go. Bridges Prep lower state championship against either East Clarendon and Lakeview. Let me see if I can ground up a score over there. But what a run by these Bridges Prep young ladies.
Yep.
To the way they battled in a challenging match against Lotta, where sometimes things were going their way, but can you survive those runs? It's kind of like basketball in a sense, because it kind of can snowball one way or the other way, and you got to find ways to to stop it or continue it if you're the team that's going on the run. So it's definitely, you have to make adjustments on the fly. Obviously, you're able to coaches are able to make changes through timeouts, which are always very similar to how basketball works. But great to see these kids have this level of success. And for 1A school, we've talked about Well Branch, but Bridges Prep, they've had a good basketball team over the years, both men's and women's, boys and girls side. But great story ahead going over there in volleyball, and they got a real shot. There's if they can get past this state championship and into the state finals next week. Obviously, there'll be some tough points on the other side, but cannot count out to these terrific young ladies and have a chance to do something really special over in these next coming weeks. So definitely, we'll keep an eye on this Bridges Prep side, and hopefully they can keep the job rolling, keep it going.
Yeah, I mean, they've got a good squad. They really do. They're solid all around. I was impressed with the level of play tonight from both sides in 1A volleyball. It was strong. There's a lot of chaff in 1A. The bottom of the regions is pretty weak, but the top teams, it was quality volleyball. So props to the Bucks. They're rocking and rolling. And we'll shout out real quick our varsity sponsors, DDS Web Design. We're all doing so much online. If you have a website that isn't getting clicks, or you just need a website, you need to call on DDS Web Design to get you up and running quickly and use the best search engine optimization tactics to make sure you get found online so you can do more and think bigger. Call on DDS at ddshhi.com and tell them Loco sent you. And then our friends at Parker Law Group, serving folks with their legal needs across Hampton, Colleton, and Jasper counties for years. And we appreciate them jumping on board to support our mission and allow us to continue to expand our coverage into those counties and shine a light on more deserving teams and student athletes around the low country, like Zion Dobson, one of the 5 finalists for the South Carolina Mr. Football Award, and he's getting his camera straightened out right now. We're going to get him in here momentarily. And his well lit back porch, I like it. It's a good spot. Z-Man, what's going on? Congratulations, sir. Congratulations are in order. One of the finalists.
Zion Dobson, Mr. Football finalist. Is that starting to sink in for you?
Yes, sir. Now it's starting to sink in.
It's still sinking in a little bit. Well, you got other business to tend to first, because you guys have a region championship game on the road Friday at Barnwell. Obviously, that's been a long time rival for you guys, Barnwell and Hampton. It's always a big game. So tell us about the mentality going into Friday. You guys had a week off last week to get right, and you should be ready to roll.
The week off gave us an extra week to prepare for Barnwell. A team that is pretty good this year. They just recently beat Willing by 4 points, 31-27. It's always a good game against Barnwell. Every year we play them, it's always a good game, always a good matchup to look forward to. And just them beating Barnwell, them beating Willing just built just made this game to go on a bigger scale, and it's for a region championship. And we all got to just do our job, and we do our job, we'll come out with a win.
Keep doing what you guys been doing, and you've got a great shot to wrap it up. But just describe that game a couple weeks ago that we were able to see, and absolute domination in a looked like it was going to be a a neck and neck matchup, and you guys just ran away with it literally and figuratively because you were absolutely on fire early. Tell me about how you guys prepared for a game like that against a good Woodland team and how you came out and took it to them early and often.
The whole theme of the week of Woodland was do your job. Practice. The main focus was for everybody to basically do their job. And when it came to Friday, everybody did their job, especially my O-line. O-line did their job, opened the holes, opened the right holes, made the right blocks, made key blocks, even on the outside. Hezekiah Abram, he had many key blocks he accounted for 2 of my touchdowns. He had good blocks on the edge. Everybody did their job. Defense did their job. Special teams did their job. And we all just did our job, and we came out with a good win, and we went up early, and they gave up.
Man, you put it on them. It was impressive. We're trying to get one time in here. I don't know. You told me he got a flip phone, but his wife has a real phone, and she's trying to get him in here. So we'll see if he joins us momentarily. But no, you guys were very impressive in that Woodland game. My impression is that you were kind of on the bubble for North-South. You got in there, and now you're a finalist for the Mr. Football, which Hampton's never had one. So that's something special. And that's a testament to you, to the numbers you put up and the eyes that you've opened this year. Just reflect a little bit on what it means to you to go from, a year ago this time you were trying to grind and get on the radar a little bit. Now you got something on your resume that I would imagine is going to turn some heads. Have you started to get a little more attention yet?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sort of been blowing up in the past 2 days. It's a good thing. Many coaches texting me, showing more interest than what they have been doing before.
That's good to hear.
Talk to me more about Rob Anna, your head coach this year, and how he has kind of laid that foundation for you and his team, and has sparked you as a running back. Tell me about what he did, how he worked you hard to get you to this elite level in your senior year, and how thankful we are of how he's been able to push you and help you succeed.
Since I came to high school, Coach Hanna, I've been with Coach Hanna since I was like 9.
Right.
And when I came to high school, he was one of the coaches that actually believed in me and believed in me as a player. And his first year as a head coach, he ended up putting me at like starting running back, like the 8th game of the season, not 8th game, but like the 7th game through the season. And as a 10th grader, that's a big accomplishment. I ended up getting a starting job as a running back, and ran with it from there. And mainly because Coach Hanna always believed in me. Him believing in me made me actually like want to become an even better player. And when you have a coaching staff that believes in you, you should want to do better.
Yeah, well, and Paul, he keeps you guys pretty motivated too, right? He's a weight room guy, isn't he?
Yes, sir. Strength.
Yeah. Yeah, I bet. And you obviously love the weight room because you got real big over the past year. So, that's a big part of it. Kids need to understand that it doesn't happen just by drinking them protein shakes. You gotta do something else with it too. So looking ahead, you got Barnwell. I know you can't really look past that, but we know what's at stake. We know that number 1 seed means 3 home games, and you don't have to see Oceanside until the 4th one potentially. So how badly do you guys want to go out and prove it one more time Friday night and make sure you get that number 1 seed locked up?
This game means a lot to us, especially after for the Hampton guys last year. They beat us 41-14 at home. We're looking to do the same thing to them at home, but even worse. And this game is for the region championship most of all. And as a team, we really we were really looking forward to this game, and everybody got to do their job tomorrow.
All hands on deck to get it done. Obviously, a lot at stake, as you mentioned. But tell me more about this team and just the dog nature as your head coach emphasizes where my dog's at before every game. What's the adrenaline rush like of that hurricane walk? Walking through the stands, with the fans cheering you on, and then you gravitate over to that end zone, that far end zone, and you run through over to the sideline after your coach hypes you up. Describe for what it feels to have that community support and how that intro pumps you up to succeed out there on the field.
Stands full of Hampton County fans is always a great feeling, especially when they're cheering at the top of their lungs for you. It's a really good feeling. And one feeling that not many schools or many people can actually say they had. It's always the Hampton County culture is amazing. Everybody knows each other. It's a small town, and that makes it even better because the people that's actually cheering for you know your name, and you're just not a number to them, and it feels really good.
It's a pretty special environment on Friday night. It's pretty cool, man. I really enjoyed being there. I mean, I like being at any game on Friday night. I'm not gonna lie, but Hampton got a little extra juice, especially this year. It's pretty cool. But you guys will be on the road on Friday at Barnwell. Talk to me about about what their one time had church, didn't get home on time, so we may not get him tonight. But talk to me about that environment at Barnwell. Tough place to play?
Yeah, it's a tough place to play, but I mean, we get out on them early. I mean, there ain't really much they can do. If we get out on them early, everybody does their job. We go up 28 points. It'll be really hard.
You think 20 will be enough for your defense? That'll probably be enough, right?
That defense they're monsters over there. Kayvon Chisholm had an absolute whale of a game, and so did some of the other guys against Cam Pringle and that Woodland offensive line. That was something special. -10 rushing yards. They held them limited negative, so they took away more yards than they got on the ground. That's insane. Give some props to that defense and how they've ran into form this during region play and really this season as a whole.
Defense has at the beginning of the season since the beginning of the season we knew our defense was going to be special. Just looking at the defense on paper, you already knew the defense was going to be crazy. And after our third game, that's when everybody knew our defense was actually going to be amazing. And right now, I think we're like the number one defense in 2A, and this is probably the last game was probably the second game. I think they held a team to negative rushing yards. The first team was Edisto, and Woodland was the second team.
Yeah, and you shut down that dude from Johnson too, who was putting up like 200 and 300 a game, and you guys bottled him up. Like you just shut down. You shut down Timko. You shut down everybody, just everybody. And man, the secondary doesn't have to cover very long because Kayvon and Mickey and them are on top of that dude. Like it's fun to watch. You don't get to rest very long on the sidelines though. It's 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out. You got to go again.
I'll be sitting on the sideline. I'll be like, dang, what down is it already? They'd be like 4th down. I'll be like, oh Lord. And I just gotta get up and get ready to play.
Well, man, it's been a terrific to follow your career these last couple of years and your rise. And we're really proud of all your accomplishments this season and really thrilled that you got the nod for this well-deserved spot on the ballot, so to speak. And now this means everybody's watching. So what happens from here on out is probably what's going to turn the tide. So just eat right now and it'll take care of itself.
Yes, sir.
We appreciate you, Zion, and we'll have you on again real soon. Hopefully, talking about a state championship down the road.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
All right, take care, man. Love talking with Zion. That dude is something else.
It's cool to see how driven he was this year, and just to get that notoriety, as I said, Mr. Football finalist. I mean, that's gonna huge boost to that recruiting stock when you see his name up there with some of the best stuff, and it's so well deserved. I mean, the numbers say it for themselves for how consistent and dominant that he has been on the ground, but there's more to it than that because you just see the work they put in over the summer and early in the season. He just looks like a different guy out there than what we saw last. He was great last year, but this year is just
different kind of player. Yeah, just a more dominant, physical, powerful player. I hear what you're saying. It's like the same guy, but like amped up to cranked up to 11. And man, he's something else. I think he and Kayvon may end up being a package deal somewhere. I think the only thing that was holding it up was they weren't getting the same offers, but I think this is going to open up some things for Zion that may put them in that position, and I think they would like that. So that could be a cool thing. Could start a little pipeline to get a bunch of dudes from Hampton someplace. Because once people see what those guys are made out of and how they play football, the secret's going to get out real quick. There's not enough of them getting opportunities yet, but when it happens, it's gonna flow because they know how to play football out there. Let's shout out our Lowco Booster Club sponsors. We got Prime IV Hydration and Wellness now open in Belfair Town Village, so go see Max and get juiced up in the massage chair. We've got Rooted Living Wellness. My man Ambrose Cole, Dr. Ambrose Cole, fellow Mizzou grad. He's the man when it comes to chiropractic needs. He'll get you cracked up, work out your problems in your neck. He always gets me feeling better. So go see him at Rooted Living Wellness. We have Barefoot Floor Care of the Low Country. They get your floors so clean, your feet will thank you. And it's Chris Odom's favorite time of year. So talk horror movies with him. He loves that stuff. Eagle Creations, one of the best kept secrets in the area for promotional products, full scale marketing items, and as well as custom apparel and custom gift baskets, which would be great for the holiday season. And the Court Lifestyle Pros, Low Country natives Daniel and Debbie Court selling the Lowco lifestyle on Hilton Head Island. And Wes, I finally have Bridges Prep Volleyball ready to go.
Let's go.
So let's watch a little highlight clip and we'll talk through it. Lata. The Lata Vikings in town.
Gotta love the support for Bridges Prep.
Yeah, it was jamming out. Our man Mark Renix is on the line over there. Larry Green up on the ladder. Veteran Lowco volleyball officials. But this Lata team was tough, man. First set they came out tough. Their serving was outstanding. Their defense was outstanding.
Yeah, when the other team makes so few mistakes, it is hard.
Look at that. That was a crazy lucky shot, but
yeah.
So Lata took the first set, but then Bridges got rolling. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean it's many times it's who can make the least number of mistakes and who can capitalize if it's that overpass or if it's that bad service or kill attempt. It's all about who makes the most of those opportunities. And Bridges Prep, really sound, really clinical in their execution. I'm looking especially late in this game, in this match, and that's what ends up deciding it. There's so thin margins when you get into the postseason. Any of these teams can be anybody, but this Bridges Prep team, just more so than not, clinically sound throughout the process of receiving, passing, and then finishing, and then blocking as well. So
their middle block was outstanding tonight.
Yeah,
they did a really good job there.
That plays a big role when you're able to deny some kill attempts from the opposition, and always fires a bench up when you're able to score off a block. That's always a nice.
Oh yeah, you get a ooh. One of those. We had a couple of those tonight. I love this gym though. It's a fun little gym.
I love like the smaller gyms. They're very
it was
fans
definitely
right there, and it kind of reverberates the sound. The energy reverberates throughout the entire gym, and it certainly did here for this team. And so now Bridges.
I like the students. Yeah. I like the students on the stage too. It's pretty cool.
Oh yeah,
it's good. There you go. Yeah, they got on a roll here, and they ended up taking out. Oh, look. Oh, there we go. We got the student section. There's Brooklyn Doherty, Battery Creek kicker.
Very nice.
She was in the house. There's my back, accidentally. I was playing around with the PTZ on the camera. It was pretty fun.
But what a great story. And obviously this team, there's no football here, but we talk about how the tone sets with a good fall season in the basketball, and there's some excitement over there too. So no matter how far this run gets, and
well, it can't go too much farther. There's only 2 games left on the bracket.
Yeah, they only have 2 more left to play. Hopefully they'll play both of those too.
That was a nice point.
I mean, no matter what happens at this point, so they've accomplished a lot, and It's you're playing with house money at this point. You didn't expect to get this. It's like the Diamondbacks who are in the World Series right now. I mean, you got this far, and you just get to play loose and have fun, and that's what they've been doing. That's what this Bridges prep team is kind of doing too.
Look, this was a battle at the end of this set, man. They're going at it.
Yep.
They're getting at that. I think that was the end of the first set, actually, when Lada took it. But there's a really good clip in here where all right, let's let this go. There's a good clip in here where Tumen loses his mind, and there we go, 2019. Pardon my crazy pain and zoom. It's a little touchy at times.
Yeah.
But there were some great points in this match.
Yeah.
Great points. Look at this.
Yep.
Oh. That number 3 for Bridges, she's only a freshman, I believe they said. When she develops a little bit more and she can get just a little bit higher and get on top of the ball, she is going to be something special because she plays hard. Number 10 is talented. I'd like to see her go a little bit harder sometimes. Get up off the ground when she's hitting. Sometimes she's a little flat-footed when she hits, but man, she's talented. The big middle blocker 15 is outstanding. They've got a solid squad. 8 is a good player. I don't know any other names, but I watched them play tonight, and they're very strong. And I saw the volleyball Jesus, Mike Dixon. In the
volleyball house. Jesus.
He's got the long hair and the beard, so I've always called him volleyball Jesus. I don't know why. Just like the Parkway Jesus. But everybody knows who you're talking about when you say volleyball Jesus. They know that that's Mike Dixon. They've seen him around. Oh, look at that. They're fired up on that one. Oh, yeah. I love volleyball sellies and volleyball.
Yeah, they get into it. Great. Even just, especially when it's a long rally, the points, and someone makes a great play, draws it out, and then they win a point. That's when it really gets electric.
This was the big set because Lada took the first set, went up 5-0. And so when Bridges came back and got within 7-6 and then surged ahead toward the end of the set, that was really a big momentum shift. And Lada kind of started to fall apart and from there, and Bridges was able to keep it going. But they made good adjustments early. Bridges their sets were a little off, just a little over, a little outside, a little too far outside, and a little too far back off the net and stuff. And they're a little flat-footed up front, but they started playing with a little more energy in the middle of the second set and kept it up. So good job by the coaching staff getting them re-centered and the team making the adjustments.
Yeah.
See, I'd like her to get up and get that. If she gets up and gets on top of that ball, she can hit that ball down. Here's Tumen. Here we go. Here's Tumen. That one got called back. That was a great fist pump, but nope, hold on. There was some kind of violation. So they had to win the point again. That made it 24-23. I thought I had lost my great shot at Tumen's fist pump, but I was able to capture it again. So here we go. Big point coming. This is set point. Not really what they were looking for there. Just a little off still at this point, but oh yeah, there we go. We got the block, and we got Tumen with another. There we go. He's ready to fight somebody now. And then Bridges just kind of turned it on. I mean, they started swinging with some confidence. Yeah, I think they were just a little tentative in the first couple of sets, but then they started gaining confidence and letting it swing and just trusting each other and really got it going. I was glad I got over there. It was a good atmosphere and a fun game.
Yeah. It's going to be electric over there Tuesday night. Maybe have some kids dressed up because it's Halloween. So
yeah, fun. They better. The student section better be costumed out.
Yeah.
Oh man, this is a great point too.
A great rally.
There was some really great rallies in this match, man. Really great rallies. And some of that's 1A, you just don't have the power hitters who can put it down quite as well.
Right.
So you get longer rallies, but they're fun to watch, man. I love a good long rally.
Yeah.
And there you can see Roger Wilson's mustache a little bit.
Those have you on the edge of your seat when they go back and forth for an extended
There he is, Volleyball Jesus, Mike Dixon.
Hey, Volleyball Jesus is in the house.
Love it. So great win for Bridges Prep. They're the only volleyball team still standing, right?
Yeah, May River and Hilton Head, both down the May River boys as well.
Did they go down last night? I hadn't seen that score, but I presume
they were still alive last time I checked. But regardless,
they were playing last night.
Yeah,
I didn't see anything about them winning, so they must have lost. So
great to see it. We still have a team playing into the very close to the very end. Got hopefully two more matches left to go. So congratulations to this Bridges Prep girls team, and outstanding to see that success at a program where we had it as we had Bridges Prep. It's a growing athletic program, and Brett Macy, he's done some excellent work over at Bluffton and May River. Now coming over here, and he's brought that same mentality to a 1A program, and so far so good. And like I said, you can build momentum for a good fall season. Remember, it's football, it's volleyball, and a lot more good things to come, I'm sure, as we get into hoops over there, because they've always got some talented basketball teams.
Oh yeah, no doubt. The boys will be really strong this year. Marion Wilson, QJ Young. They got a bunch of guys who can play ball over there. And I think Darius Brockington is really growing into himself as a coach. He was really young when he got that job as the head coach. And I think he's maturing in real time and learning on the job. And I think they're going to keep getting better and better. So cool stuff happening over there. What's that?
It was talk with Sharon Bursip, Ron Fudal the other day over in Okatee. That was awesome. Yeah. They both were so energized and just really happy to get things rolling. And they're going to translate that same energy, to their players and to the fans here in the Lowco. Be able to see college hoops right here in Beaufort and Bluffton. So it's great to see that start up, and I'm excited. I'm so hyped for that first game. We get the women and men doubleheader and number 11 opening day.
11-11. I was just texting with my color commentators today. Tony Red Bruin, Rich Basirico, and Coach John Drafts. 3 Lowco legends going to be alongside me for
a lot of Lowco ties from our high school area. Andrew Helms playing for Hilton Head Prep. We got Jamise Franklin sidelines coaching former state champ Hilton Head Christian Academy. So the Lowco ties will be there from the start, which is awesome to see, especially for us, because we're able to see them work their magic over here, win some state titles, and now look to continue that success at the next level.
Fudala loves Helms, by the way. He's like, I'd take 11 of those guys. That guy, like he just loves his work ethic and his team first mentality. He really likes having him around, and one of those guys who makes his teammates better.
Yep.
And he won't see a lot of playing time, if any, this year, I would guess. But that's a testament to the kind of kid he is, that you're like, no, I'd take a bunch of them, even though he's not going to get on the court. Give me all of those guys. He'll get on the court before it's all said and done if he sticks it out. So going to be really cool. Looking forward to that. But talking football a little bit more, you mentioned that we have some playoff implications. So 7-4A, the big game is James Island Lucy Beckham that decides the region title. But then Bluffton Colleton and May River Hilton Head, that thing's still messy. Because
your tiebreakers.
If Bluffton wins, they're the 3. But if Bluffton loses, then Colleton's tied with them. And then if May River wins, it's a 3-way tie for 2 spots. And you get into tiebreakers. If Hilton Head wins,
and then Colleton loses,
and Bluffton wins, then you got a 3-way tie for 4th.
Right.
But Hilton Head has to win by 13 or more in order to get in.
Hilton Head, you gotta win in style. You gotta be able to stop that May River offense, which is going to be more easier said than done, because Tanner Macy has shown his ability. Bluffton was able to contain him, but Hilton Head has been spotty at times defensively. But being at home for a do or die game, I expect Shike Thompson, especially those seniors who this could be your last game. You want to, obviously you can't count in that large bid. Because sometimes they bring in the upper state teams. So you have to lay it all out there. And I expect this BJ Payne defense to put out their best effort. I think Hilton Head, if they can, able to get in front early and have a good start with Timko, that ground game and the offensive line, and Bybie's going to have to, he's going to have to play a smart and mistake-free game, which we haven't seen all the time. Bybee, I know he has it in him. He's a terrific young man. He's a hard competitor out there, and he certainly had a rough stretch. But this is this time. This is the moment where you want to find a way to produce your best game, and he certainly has it in him. So that May River team, though, they're going to be hungry. Certainly wish they could have played a little better. The offense has been the issue at times for the Sharks. Although Macy, when he's able to get going, the May River's been able to produce. So it really starts with his ability on the ground to find those holes and to escape and pick up those explosive chunks of yardage. But that May River running back also really
Jordan
impressed.
Williams.
Williams. With the limited work he got, he was really efficient. So I would expect them to go to him a little more too and add another dimension, add another guy who's been able to produce in the run game. So I would think that the Sharks would turn to him a little bit more and see what they get from Williams.
Yeah, they kind of went away from him for a couple weeks. He was carrying it, 9-10 times a game for a few weeks there, and then he only got like one carry for a couple games, and then he carried it a little more last week. So I'd like to, I would think that they're working his way back into more usage there because they have to have another option in the ground game. It can't just be Macy. It's too easy to defend against one guy. So yeah, that's an interesting matchup. I don't know that Hilton Head can beat him by 2 touchdowns though. Even if they beat them,
they like
and then
play
Bluff has just got to win.
Those scoring games.
So it's going to be weird. It'll get weird. And then
Hilton's offense is going to have to score points.
They do. Yeah, and they probably got to score them early because they get worn down late in the game. Buford and Hanahan is going to be interesting. And then Phillips Simmons of Battery Creek, which you would assume Phillips Simmons will take care of business there. If they do.
But they
Buford has a chance, but
like under 7 or something.
They got to keep them to 6 or less, and they got to win by 2. So
they're gonna have to. They're gonna need pretty much a shutout. So that defense.
So 7-6 doesn't do it, but 8-6 does.
Yeah.
7-3, what does it? 6-3 does it.
Right.
So it's gonna be weird, but then Hanahan just has to win. But if they lose, then they also have to keep it low scoring.
Right.
So I just wonder if we're going to get a Sean Rochester situation here where they both just run it into the line for 3 quarters or take knees for 3 knees and a punt for 3 quarters and then just play it out for a quarter and see who wins 7-3 or whatever. Like, I don't know. It could get weird.
Stranger things have happened on a Friday high school football night. So we'll see.
Question.
Bryce Lavin always has some tricks up his sleeve.
He's acting like he doesn't understand the tiebreaker, but I guarantee you he knows all the scenarios. So it could get wild.
His vest, doesn't he? He doesn't want to play the cards now.
Yeah, well, it's wild to me how we don't have a universal tiebreaker in this.
Yeah, no, it's
every region makes up their own rules. So in 8-3A, it's points allowed among the tied teams, and in 7-4A, it's point differential, and there's no cap on it. So, it's just all over the place what we're doing.
It's wild. See all the discrepancies, but
it's crazy. Yeah, go ahead. So that'll be interesting. Hampton, Barnwell for the region title in 2A. Ridgeland Hardyville has a non-region game at home against Allendale. One of those teams will get to 5 wins, which is pretty good for both those programs. Yeah, that's great. Should be a good game too. Bamberger, Earhart, Whale Branch. I got that one on WSAV CW Game of the Week.
It's going to be a battle, a war, Amy. War always around.
Slobberknocker.
It'll be fun.
I talked to Hunter the other day. He was talking so fast. I mean, I couldn't even understand what he said over there. But he told me Bamberger going to be. They're a separate team. They're always on. He says there's something different, but they think they can pass it a little bit, but they like to run the ball. They just go run the ball. If they try to pass it on, us KJ going to go up there and get it. They ain't going to wipe it down. So
you don't see it 1A as good of a playmaker as KJ Chisholm. So that always influences it. But if Whale Branch can stop the run, that's going to be a monumental and a huge impactful positivity for the Sharks or for the Whale Branch Warriors.
Yeah, they want it bad, man. they've taken their lumps against Bamberg, and they're ready to get over the hump.
Yeah.
So, it's going to be fun. I really liked my talk with Corey Crosby the other night, though, at Bamberg. That he's the real deal. He's a great coach. So that team's going to be well prepared, and it's going to be a battle, man. It should go pretty quick. Neither one of them likes to throw it a whole lot, so it should go pretty quick. Skeezer ranks, Hilton Head Christian, Hilton Head Prep still on, as far as I know. Shouldn't be much of a contest, though.
Situation there.
Yeah, unfortunately. JP2 at Wilson Hall could be bad too. Wilson Hall's
you may
pretty
have to
good.
go back there or to Pinewood the next week for round 1 of the playoffs. That's going to be it.
Yeah, that's no fun. Carlton Prep, Palmetto Christian still on as of today, but Langdale said check again tomorrow. Palmetto Christian's 0-9. I'm not thinking they really want to play this game on Friday, but it is their
Cole
senior
David
night.
some rest. Let him.
Yeah. I don't think I think Cole will take this one off.
Yeah.
Bethesda 9-0 at BA. BA just losing Devontae was a huge blow.
That was the turning point of the season at Hilton Head Christian Academy. You hate to see it like that because that team was rolling. Remember going to the Charleston Southern game start of the year.
Yeah.
They looked like the favorite, but Devontae Green, losing all the talent that he provides, it's been a big blow. It's been a big blow.
Yeah. There were 3 guys they couldn't afford to lose, maybe 4, because you could probably throw Alex Williams in there. But Dietrich and the 2 running backs and Alex were the guys that they couldn't afford to lose any of them. It's just too big of a hole on both sides.
How valuable those top players are in Skeeza. Of course, we talked about Tony O'Banner. We've talked about, and even like 1A and Whale Branch. Those players who go both ways. I mean, unfortunately, he left when he was playing defense, and it just shows how dedicated he was. Staying in there, playing both ways, and unfortunately, it's just the worst case scenario unfolded that night for this BA team. And you gotta have that next mentality. You got Jackson Porter, you got a couple hard-nosed guys on defense, so can't count out entirely. But I do think,
it just changed. It just changed who they were so much. They had to change who they were. It just didn't fit anymore without him. And again, like we've said before, he and Jackson just made each other so much better. The way they blocked for each other, it was just a tag team situation. And Jackson still put up great numbers, but it's not the same when you don't have that second threat back there. So they've had to, and they've been competitive. They've been right in these games. They're just one player away. And that player's over there on crutches, and I hate it for him too. Senior year, it's rough.
Yeah, that's it's really tough as a player. You gotta just watch your teammates do it, and you don't have any say. I mean, you can be the cheerleader, the spark plug guy on bench, but that's about it. So it can be tough, but it's you gotta inspire that group around them to get the job done themselves. So wish them the best of luck this week, but. This Bethesda team, they're looking pretty solid over there in 2A. I think Williamsburg still has a lot to say about their chances of repeating. That's still, you got Camden Moore. You got Ward. Still there as well.
Ward. Yeah, that team's good. That team's good.
I think we kind of discount them a bit to start the year, but they're still looking dangerous.
I forgot about that little dude Moore. He's so fast.
Yeah.
He's so slippery. Like I had forgotten about him until I saw him this year, and I was like, oh yeah, that guy. He's something else. Thomas Hayward at Patrick Henry is the granddaddy on Skeeza this week. That's a big, and I think our boy Justin Clifton will be out there. I'm trying to get him on the show after. I know we'll get Stricklander if they win. He might be drowning his sorrows if they lose. So that one's going to be fun, though, man. That's going to be a battle.
We can get Trace if Hayward comes out on top, and
if Trace goes out there, I don't know. He's at the home games, but he doesn't always travel on the road. But we'll see.
Well, this is a big one. This is.
We might get Tyree or Tony on here if they win it. We'll see who all's out there. We'll have people out there. I guarantee you that. There's all them Patrick Henry boys. They'll come on the show after.
Oh, it's gonna be. I'll tell you what. I'm not betting against this Patrick Henry team. I think baseball season did a lot to teach me that these guys are that band of brothers who's not going to give up in an important game like this and just work together as a group and make the big plays when the moment is called upon them to do that. So I think this Patrick Henry team is a slight favorite. They're home. They got the fans behind them, that home field advantage. And I just believe in those athletes. And those kids just have the extra spark in them to get the job done. Tony Banner have a lot to say about it. But if they're able to slow them down to at least as I said, you can't stop them. You only can hope to contain them.
Yeah.
Patrick, of course. But, if they're able to hold them down to maybe a modest game, I think give you guys a chance to give that offense a chance.
Right.
Patrick Henry to put points on the board and do enough to outdo that Hayward team. But it's not going to be easy. I think it should be a competitive game to decide the region crown, and of course that coveted 1 seed and getting those 2 home playoff games potentially.
Yeah, it's going to be a battle, dude. Because Hayward's tough. Like they're just tough.
McGreary has done an excellent job.
Tough kids.
I'm really impressed with what McGreary's done, especially the defense. We knew we had.
Well, that's the thing. The defense, the secondary is really good, and Patrick Henry has picked people apart with the passing game.
Yeah.
And I just don't know if they're going to be able to do that with Hayward. Cutter's really good. Josh Gibson's been really good. They got some guys over there. So we'll see. But I'd probably say slight edge to Patrick Henry at home, but man, I think it's razor thin. I think Hayward is just a really tough football team that they're going to fight you, dude. Like it's going to be a battle to the finish. And so we'll see. It's going to be a good one. I wish I could be 2 places at once.
Yeah, no, honestly, we need like a setup where we have 2 windows where we can have
right? Yeah. Yeah, no. We need to be
a game bar or something.
We need to be able to flex. We need to flex one to Thursday, or flex one to Sunday or something. Flex one to 4:00 in the afternoon.
Right.
Yeah, that'd be great. The Loco flex. Oh shoot, I just saw slim odds for Buford. I wasn't looking at comments. Marcus says it's going to be a very interesting night tomorrow all over the Loco. Yes, it will. Tomorrow night will be great fun. Dwight says, got to get over the hump against Bamberger Earhart. Yeah,
that's huge. It's also a confidence thing too. I think obviously it's not postseason game, but if you can beat Bamberger Earhart at home, just imagine the confidence and momentum that gives you as you get ready for the playoffs. Not only getting that 1 seed, but just having that sense that you can beat a good team like that heading into the postseason. That's the mentality is everything, and being able to prove that you've done it. That just sends that positive wave of emotion and sense that you can do it against anybody. So
and I think Whale Branch knows that they haven't played anybody really good yet. They've taken care of business, but I think they're aware that they're going to see teams much tougher than what they've seen up to now. This is the first real test, so it's going to be a good one. It's going to be a good one. I can't wait.
It's all
I assume my folks in Seabrook will feed me before the game. I don't need to worry about going to eat before, right? You guys got me covered.
I'm going to get there earlier to do some video and photography, but I'm going to be over there as well, and I'm excited. I hope that the fans turn out. Seabrook community is always awesome. They support their kids, and hopefully we can get a good crowd, and they can will this Warriors squad on to the championship.
There's going to be a crowd. I guarantee you there will be a crowd. There will be a crowd. Bamberg will travel too. It's going to be hype. Region championship, baby.
Whale Branch's got a good band though as well. They got
very good bands. Yes. Yes, they bring it. They got the dance team.
Yeah.
I love Seabrook Friday night. It's right up there with Hampton. Those are my favorites. I love it. I love it. But all right, well, man. That's a wrap on Thursday. Friday's next. One more thing to do, and that is name our athletes of the week. Who you got? You taking Claire Bear?
I got to go with Claire Bear, but Arnold mentioned the rest of that girls golf team. We didn't mention them as their team of the week because they hadn't won their title yet, but now it's in the books, and I would kind of give one to all of them because they all deserve it, but Claire especially for being the individual champion. And what a spectacular young woman that she is, both on the course and off. And
awesome.
to see her do the the reporting for us to produce that video after competing. Man, that's one fantastic, inspired, and excellent young woman who's going to do some tremendous things, whether it's on the golf course or beyond. Because I think if she keeps on this track record, she's going to have her chance to make it on the professional stage. And I think we could see some big things from her going forward as she gets ready for her college career. So great to see her continuing to get some offers and some looks, and I hope that continues for her as she prepares for the college level, because she has got a heck of a future ahead of her. Robin Truer as well, a terrific season, and all those girls, all those young ladies. It takes a village, it takes a team. Coaching staff was excellent, but Claire Bear, the way that her stamina showed itself at the end of the year, and to play the best golf when it matters. We saw her perform well in that Moss Creek tournament. We saw her perform well at Lower States, and then just to put those red numbers on the board when it matters the most in a state championship. It takes a superior mental game as well as exceptional skill, but most of all, it's just, I think more so than golf than anything, you gotta inspire. It's kind of like tennis and golf. You gotta inspire that momentum yourself. You don't have your teammates with you. You gotta build it yourself, and that can be tough to do. Although at least in team tennis, you got your teammates with you compared to individual tennis, but especially in golf, you gotta pump yourself up and keep yourself motivated. And Claire Bear and this team did a great job of that. And she's looked up to especially some of those girls like Kylie Bowes, Sydney Bowes, and all those players that came before her that have won a couple of state championships too. And now she's continued to transition and cemented herself as another legendary standout in the annals of May River girls golf.
Annals. Yeah, we got into the annals. She's got a great shot to win another one next year. I mean, Nobody was even close. It was 11 shots. Yeah. That was impressive. And again, just to stay on the heater she was on for as long as she did, man, like every round was under par. That is crazy. I mean, I know she's playing shorter distances than she's accustomed to, but man, she and Wilkie both they were locked in this season, just dominated. So great choice, obvious choice. I'll keep it in-house too. I'll go Zion. He's our finalist for Mr. Football. We'll take a look inside the stats here. 1,570 rushing yards on 139 carries for an average of 11.3.
Gone over 100 every game.
Over 100 every game, 21 touchdowns. And Rob Hanna's like, man. Rob Hanna's like, man, I probably should have let him play the second half more. He could have probably been close to 2,028 touchdowns if I let him play just the third quarter every game. Because look at that, 11 carries, 6 carries, 12 carries. Like, he's had some pretty light.
I was at that C.A. Johnson game, and he was doing everything in that first half, and then they just went away from him. Imagine if they kept him on the field for another at least quarter, even the third quarter, to see what he could do. I mean,
like I told him tonight, I mean, all the eyes are on him now, and so as long as he eats from here on out, it won't. 1570 right now versus 1870 right now ain't going to make a difference, because if he puts up 150 to 200 every week here on out, it's going to take care of itself. And I think he will. I mean, I don't know why not. That offensive line's getting better every week. He's the same dude, and so I don't know why he couldn't keep doing what he's doing. But I mean, 9 straight 100-yard games. And 3 of them over 200. 1, 2, 3, 5 over 4 over 150. Like
the way he just spots the hole so quickly, and the patience to see him develop sometimes, and he just has that elite burst to take off into the open field. You don't see that with every back, and just that breakaway speed. It just looks so effortless there, and it's been really fun to watch. It's rare to see someone as talented at that position. I mean, I don't think we've seen somebody, put up those kinds of numbers in years. And it's.
I mean, Casey last year was as dominant as we've seen, and and Zion's been as good or better this season. Which Casey was back out there for SC State tonight, so that was good to see. He was out for a couple games,
and Casey did that not even a full season, so he got kind of
Yeah. Yeah. And he was over 2,000 last year, right? Like 2,300.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Bovain's going to be a dog too. This is what I love when they run speed option with Zion. Woo! He gets going downhill, it's over.
Yeah.
Like Hezzy, that was one of the ones Hezzy sealed right there.
Yep.
Hezzy's a good player. I like Hezzy. Oh, Mickey. Jalen Singletary. I just like watching these highlights from this game.
Yeah.
This was such an impressive effort.
This is the tape that you put the advertiser program when you do this 64-0 over a top 10 team.
This was crazy. That was the best one, but then it cuts out before he.
Oh, look at that! Look at that hard.
Cuts out. I don't know why it cuts out, but that was his best one of the bunch.
Yeah.
Woo. Deloach with the lift. Xavier.
Look at that explosive
Juski.
ability out there. Yeah.
There
It's something special.
Yeah, I love this team, man. Love this team. But we'll effort to get one time on another time since he had church
one
tonight.
time, another time.
Another time for one time. We'll get him one time, though, I promise. And we're gonna hit up that Hurricane Sports Cafe. I saw your DM. We're coming. We're gonna figure out when we can do a live show out there. We're gonna have to do a pregame show before one of these Hampton County playoff games, especially if Patrick Henry's at home too. So we got plans. We'll get in touch. But Wes, I think that does it for tonight's show. We had some hiccups on the internet side early on, but I think we settled in and got through it. Claire Green was terrific. Maria Francescotti was delightful and inspirational, and we definitely look forward to talking to both of them again. And Zion is always welcome. Love talking to that guy and watching him play football. So thanks to all of our guests. Thanks to all of our sponsors who make it all possible. Our MVP sponsors, Megan Jarrett, the official realtor of LowcoSports, Mickelson Law Firm, Hospice Care of the Low Country, Homegrown Home Inspections, and our varsity sponsors, DDS Web Design and Parker Law Group, as well as the Loco Booster Club of Prime IV, Hydration and Wellness, Rooted Living Wellness, Barefoot Floor Care of the Low Country, Eagle Creations, and Court Lifestyle Pros. We thank you all, as well as all of you who showed up to listen or watch. That's going to do it for tonight. And, we'll see you for a doubleheader tomorrow. We got the game day at 12:30 p.m. We got the Pigskin Live recap at 11:30 p.m. We'll tell you who's going to the playoffs live on the YouTubes. So we will see you then. And until then, for Wes Kerr, I'm Justin Jarrett. Go Loco.
This is the LowcoSports Lowdown Podcast. Here are your hosts, Justin Jarrett